Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Late Night Gaming. Tonight, I am bringing you one of my super awesome Let's Build videos. So on Monday Night Marvel, this coming Monday, I will be doing a Venom Goblin versus Doctor Strange game, and I am doing this Let's Build to show you the Doctor Strange deck. So let's start off with our typical, who is our hero? This is the cool thing that comes with the Doctor Strange pack, like a little poster. And there is Doctor Strange. As you can see, he starts on his alter ego side. He is a mystic. He has 3 recovery, and he begins the game with an invocation deck. So what is the invocation deck, right? Because he also has a natural talent, discard the top card of the invocation deck. Limit once per phase. So, the invocation deck is Doctor Strange's super special cards that he gets to use during the game. They include cards like the Winds of Watoomb, a 0-cost event, special, draw 3 cards, discard in the invocation discard pile. So he gets to draw 3 cards, and then in a separate discard pile, especially for the invocation deck, this gets discarded. We also have the images of Icon. Or, yeah, I'm just going to call it Icon. It is a 1-cost event. Confuse the villain, remove 4 threat from a scheme, place this card in the invocation deck discard pile. And we have the 2-cost event, Crimson Bands of Cyttorak. Special, stun an enemy, deal 7 damage to it. Place this card in the invocation discard deck. We have the 7 Rings of Ragador. Give up to 3 characters each a tough status card. Place this card in the invocation discard pile. And finally, the 0-cost event, Vapors of Voltor. Choose a status card in play, and replace that status card with a different status card. So, if Doctor Strange gets stunned or confused, he can have the Vapors of Voltor change that stunned or confused into a tough status card. And if the villain gets a tough status card, he could change that to a stunned or confused status card. So he's very versatile and able to handle pretty much everything that gets thrown at him. A lot of people can just play a Doctor Strange deck and they don't care what's in their deck, they just play what's here. And I understand. That's his thing. That's actually his gimmick. And when you play Doctor Strange, you are playing Doctor Strange. Like, you really feel like you are this guy. And you also get that Doctor Strange mentality that you know everything that's going to happen and you're going to just take care of it. And that can also be his downfall and your downfall, because you think, I'm Doctor Strange and I have no problem, and lo and behold, there is one. So, on his hero side, he has 2 thwart, 1 attack, 2 defense. Not bad. Pretty good stat lines there. He doesn't need a high attack. He's got all this cool spell stuff that he can do. He's Avenger and Mystic traded. He's Mystic on both sides, so that's pretty cool. Action, exhaust Doctor Strange, and pay the cost of the top card in the invocation deck. Resolve the special ability on that card. So that is how he is able to do his invocation deck. Notice how this is not a limit at all. So anytime that he is ready, he can exhaust, pay that cost, and do the ability. So let's check out Doctor Strange's deck, the one that I have created at least. I have decided that I am going to go with a protection deck for Doctor Strange. He does come as a pre-built protection deck, and that is really cool. But there are other cards that have come out with like Star-Lord and you know, the X-Men even, that have improved the protection aspect for Doctor Strange and others. So going to go into this. Let's do it. We are going to start off with this awesome Mystic Avenger, Brother Voodoo. You've seen him before. He has 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health. He costs 3 resources to play. His response: after Brother Voodoo enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event card and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. So he fishes out an event, puts it in your hand, and you have a great day. You go on being Doctor Strange, doing Doctor Strange things, while Brother Voodoo does Brother Voodoo things for you. And you work together and do stuff. His other ally is Clea, because you can't have a Doctor Strange deck and not have a Clea if you're running protection. She is a 2-cost, 2 health ally with 1 thwart, 1 attack, and interrupt. When Clea is defeated, shuffle her into her owner's deck. So she is basically always going to be cycled into the deck and able to do her thing. I have Jocasta. He's an android avenger. 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health, 3 cost. You may play the event attached to Jocasta as if it were in your hand. Response: after Jocasta enters play, choose a defense event in your discard pile and attach it to her face down. So Jocasta also fishes out an event. It's specifically a defense event, but you know, I'm sure he's gonna have some of those. We also are bringing Victor Mancha. Victor Mancha has a 2-cost, 4 health ally with 0 thwart, 0 attack. So Victor Mancha doesn't do anything except stand in front of the enemy's fire, basically. And he gets to reduce the amount of damage he takes from each attack by 1. So he can eat all of those minion attacks. Maybe there's like 1 attack minions and you can just stand in front of them and he'll never take damage, and neither will you. That'll be pretty nice. Finally, we have Doctor Strange's Wong. He's a 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health, 3 resource mystic. Exhaust Wong. Choose to either heal 1 damage from your identity or discard the top card of the invocation deck. So what he does is he is able to cycle through that invocation deck. So if you have a card that's not going to do you any good that turn and you happen to have Wong out, you can exhaust Wong and take that card and discard it, and now you have the next one that's after that. How the invocation deck works is that as soon as you cast an invocation, you set it into the discard pile and you take the next card face up, and that is now your invocation that's ready to go. It's basically like he's got this studied and this is what he's got, and then he's on to the next one immediately. So when I do gameplay, we will go into that. Doctor Strange is pretty awesome. Okay, so let's get into his events, right? To start off, Doctor Strange brings along the Astral Projection. There are 2 of those. It is a 2-cost event, and it is a spell and a thwart. Choose a scheme, remove 3 threat from that scheme, look at the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon on that card, remove an additional threat from the chosen scheme. So, pretty awesome thwart card that he's got. It only costs 2, and it's going to remove a whole bunch of threat. Unless you get a 0 boost and then it removes none. Which, you know, can happen. But that's fine. We'll move on. In the awesome protection category, we have Desperate Defense. This actually came with the Doctor Strange deck. And it is a 1-cost event. Hero Interrupt. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage, ready your hero. So, he will basically be defending for 4, takes no damage, and gets ready. Pretty awesome. Next we have Ever Vigilant. There's 3 of those. 2-cost event. Aerial skill. Play only if your identity has the aerial trait. Well, how does he get to the aerial trait? He uses the Cloak of Levitation. You've seen it. It's in the movies. You know about it. he gains the aerial trait. We'll get into that one later, but that's how he gets aerial. Ready a hero. So, again, another ready. Maybe he didn't get to ready from his defense. Bam! Now he's going to ready anyways, and he's going to remove 2 threat from the main scheme. So, ready, remove threat, do your invocation. Awesome times. Here we go. 3 cost event, Magic Blast. Hero action, deal 5 damage to an enemy, discard the top card of your deck. Yes, your deck, not the encounter deck. If that card's printed resource has Strength, stun the enemy. Energy, deal 2 damage to that enemy. Mental, confuse that enemy. Wild, do everything. Pretty awesome. Okay, we'll do everything. Great, alright, that's how it's going. Here we go, Master of the Mystic Arts. A 1 cost event, there's 2 of those. Hey, the printed cost of the top card of the invocation deck, remember that deck that was over there, I showed you earlier? Resolve its special ability, then place it back on top of the invocation deck face up. Look at that, you get to do the invocation twice. No kidding, that's awesome. Next we have just 1. It's a 1 cost event. Mystical Studies, Alter Ego Action. Search your deck and discard pile for a Doctor Strange card. Add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. Hey, you need something in a hurry for the next round? Go get it. And then Doctor Strange is like, no, your treacheries are nothing to me. 1 cost event, Protective Ward. When a treachery is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel all of its effects and make it go away. Just like that, because he's Doctor Strange and that's what he can do. And we have the shield spell, because you can't not bring it, right? Sure. So this one is going to be, it's only 1 off. You're only allowed 1 in the deck. It's a 0 cost event. When you would take any amount of damage from an attack, discard that many cards from the top of your deck and prevent all damage from this attack. So you're going to get hit for 7 because Venom Goblin just had like 18 or, 7 boost cards put on him or whatever. There you go. Now you don't get hit for anything. You just card cards from the top of your deck equal to the amount and everything's good. We are carrying 3 Spiritual Meditations. There's a lot of events in this deck if you didn't notice. 3 of these, you're going to draw 2 cards, choose and discard 1 from your hand. You could play this only if your identity has the Mystic trait. Well, guess what? He's a Mystic on both sides. Yeah. Mystic and Mystic. So he can do that whenever he pleases. And finally, we have What Doesn't Kill Me, because if he does happen to take some damage, and it's gonna happen, he could go ahead and heal 2 damage and get ready. It has a requirement of a strength resource, which means he must spend a strength resource in order to play this card. But you can get a strength resource from any cards like, obviously strength. But then also, if you have Power of Protection, guess what? It's wild. Make that wild a strength resource. Problem solved. Okay. So that's all of the events that I'm bringing along. That was quite a few of them, right? It's like 22 events or something like that. Okay. Resource-wise, you know it. Energy, Genius, Strength, and the Powers of Protection. The 5 resources. We have some supports coming along, and you're going to be surprised by these. We are bringing Hangar Bay. After an ally defends against an attack and is not defeated, exhaust this card, ready that ally. Why are we bringing Hangar Bay with these really low health allies? For the simple reason that we have the 7 Rings of Ragador. You have your ally out. You spent 1 for this event. You gave yourself tough because you're going to do that. But you still have 2 more that you get to give out. How many allies do you have out? If you got 1 or 2 allies out there, well, now both of those allies get to be tough. And look at how many turns you have of villain attacks, or how many villain attacks period you have before anybody gets hurt at all. So your ally can defend. They have tough, so they take no damage. Use the Hangar Bay. your ally is ready the following round and could do whatever thing that they need to do for that round. So maybe you were planning on using that ally to thwart or attack. Now you can. Or maybe you had Mr. Wong, and Wong had tough, and then he defended and took no damage, and now you can ready Mr. Wong to go ahead and exhaust him to either heal a damage or discard a card from the invocation deck and do your thing. Like, there's so many possibilities, it's crazy. Okay. After Hangar Bay, we have the 1-cost support Sanctum Sanctorum that comes with Doctor Strange. It's an alter ego action. Exhaust the Sanctum Sanctorum, shuffle a spell from your discard pile into your deck, and draw 1 card. So that's pretty much everything that he had in his events, right? So we have Spiritual Meditation, that's a spell. Yep. Shield Spell, obviously a spell. We have the Protective Wards. We have the Magic Blast. We have... oh, not that one. Oh, not that one. Oh, Astral Projection. That's a pretty decent number of spells that he has at his disposal that can go ahead and be used with that Sanctum Sanctorum, be recycled. Pretty decent number. And then finally, we are bringing a team building exercise. Play a card from your hand that shares a trait with your hero, reducing its resource cost by 1. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of cards that are matching. But basically, that's going to help pay for all of these allies. So they now become 2 or 1 cost allies. Because they all match in some way or another. Wong's a Mystic. Victor Munch is an Avenger. Jocasta's an Avenger. Flea is a Mystic. Brother Voodoo is both Avenger and Mystic, so he counts twice. You know, it's still only going to reduce him by 1, but you get what I'm saying. So, that's basically there to help us pay for all of those. I think... I think that was all that would pay for. So everything else is a spell. Oh, yeah, that's right. When you get Aerial, it'll pay for Ever Vigilant as well. So that kind of makes it worth it a little bit, I think. I knew there was something else. Now, remember how I said we were going to get back to that? So, the Cloak of Levitation is a 2-cost upgrade. It is an artifact. You gain the Aerial trait. Hero action, exhaust the Cloak of Levitation, ready Doctor Strange. So yet another way for Doctor Strange to get ready and go ahead and exhaust and do the invocation on the top of his invocation deck. We are also bringing along the magical enhancements because it's part of Doctor Strange's cards, and so you have to bring them. They're a 1-cost upgrade. Play under any hero's control. Your hero gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense. When the round ends, discard magical enhancement. So it sticks around until the very end of the round, the very end of the villain phase, and then it gets discarded and we get to move on. This is also a spell, which could get pulled back from that other card that I showed you earlier. This is actually pretty good because you could use this with Doctor Strange, up his defense to 3, and then you have the Desperate defense, and now he's defending for 5, which means he's going to get to ready when he defends that attack. We also have the Eye of Agamotto, another one that's in his deck and is required to bring along, and it's worth it. So it is a 2-cost upgrade, and it's going to generate a wild resource. So it's going to help pay for all of these things that are going on, which is why we are only bringing along 5 resources and team building exercise. Finally, the last card is the Sorcerer Supreme, because Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme, and you can play it only if you have the Mystic trait, which he does on both sides. You get +1 hand size while in hero form. So, Doctor Strange will be a 6 hand size in Alter Ego and a 6 hand size in hero form. which is awesome. And that is the entirety of the Doctor Strange deck that I will be bringing up against Venom Goblin Expert. I don't have a modular in mind for it, so I would deeply appreciate it if anybody who is watching this video go ahead and submit a comment below and let me know what modular you want to see Doctor Strange go up against with Venom Goblin. I think that would be great. If nobody comes up with anything, then I'm going to do something that is like, hey, they're fighting around the city, so we'll do the one that, bounces them around the city and has different effects for that area. That one's a pretty cool one, and it would do a lot of strange different things. Like, everybody gets stalwart, +1 attack, +1 defense, whatever. It does something like that. And that might be something to consider. So that is all for tonight. That is the Doctor Strange deck. It's going to be super fun to play. I love playing Doctor Strange. He's a blast to play. He does so many things. It's just incredible how he can play. And yes, I have lost with Doctor Strange, but that's, you've already seen me lose so many times. You know it's possible. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I have ways of losing. Okay. Do you want to get into this? Sure, why not? Doctor Strange has some bad cards. There's the physical toll. That's his obligation. He was one of the early ones that it doesn't really do a whole lot of bad things for you. So you basically get this and you want to exhaust so that way it can get removed from the game. Or if you can't do that, the next event you play costs 3 additional resources, and you discard this obligation after you play an event. So basically, your next event is going to cost 4+. He's got his nemesis. His nemesis is the Baron Mordo. Baron Mordo is 2 scheme, 2 attack, 5 health. When the Baron Mordo attacks you, discard the top card of your deck. If that card's printed resource has one of these things, then one of those things is going to happen. It's a lot like your magic attack card, Let's see. We have Open the Dark Dimension. Place the top card of the invocation deck face down under this scheme. So when he comes out, he's going to pull off one of your invocation cards, which is terrible. And then when it's defeated, that card goes into the invocation deck and gets shuffled in again. We have Thought Casting. Alter Ego, you're going to discard a card from your hand at the highest cost and place a threat equal to its printed cost. If you're on hero side, discard a card from your hand with the highest cost, take damage equal to the printed cost. And then we have the counter spell, ×2. Attach to your hero. When you play an event, cancel its effects and discard it. Then discard this spell. This card. It is a terrible, terrible card. Baron Mordo is, he's got some pretty cool stuff going with his set. I find it interesting. It's very thematic. But this whole Doctor Strange deck, the whole way they made him, he's probably the perfectly made hero of those early heroes. Like they really nailed him, basically. They made Doctor Strange like Doctor Strange, and like you feel like it, and it's a blast. Unless you're D20. D20 hates Doctor Strange. And hey, to each his own. It's cool. Love you, D20. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Like and subscribe. Tell everybody. Friends, enemies, neighbors, dog. I don't care. Tell people. And do that like and subscribe thing down at the bottom. Down there at the bottom of the screen. Press the button. Because I could use it. Thanks, guys.